News 46 is brought to you by Affiliated Chiropractic and Physical Therapy, specializing in comprehensive accident rehabilitation. Our goal is to create the individual treatment plan that will restore your health and end pain. Come in for your free consultation. Call 775-727-8900. Pahrumph's #1 media source for local news, weather, and sports.
Good evening. It's Tuesday, March 1st, 2011. I'm Rick Vale.
And I'm Rhonda Van Winkle for News 46. The first Sheriff DA Forum was held at the Calvada Eye on Sunday. Sheriff Tony DeMeo spoke to News 46 about District Attorney Brian Kunze's participation in the forum.
Well, it's a combination. We usually have the sheriff's forums every month. We have since I've been sheriff. We took a slight hiatus during 1 year, but we've been pretty regular with them. And the combination of this is how people get to see the DA's office. Previous DA really didn't have any appetite to come involved in the sheriff's forums, and so it's a combination that way to get to see both offices that work very close together, involved in public safety and the community, get to answer questions that they ask.
There's open agenda. It's whatever they would like to ask you.
We can't discuss things of litigation. Can't go into personnel issues. We can know how the office operates. We can answer some questions people might have, about governance and stuff like that. And those things we can go into.
Why did we decide to have these?
Well, it was a campaign promise I had when I was running for sheriff, and the idea behind that is just have an idea what the community's thinking, have an idea what's going on in people's minds, and have them, see how the government works. I mean, law enforcement, DA's office has direct effect on the public safety and how things are operating within government. The county commissioners, the same, but it's an opportunity, like I said, for them to see how the law enforcement aspect of the public safety operates. You can call the sheriff's office, you can contact me, and I answer my own phones. But the idea behind this is in a group. It's like more like a meeting, a commission meeting with law enforcement in that respect. And like I said, we touch thousands of people's lives every month. We contact them people almost all the time, the sheriff's office and law enforcement. People should have a see on how the government works, how law enforcement operates, and how we do our job.
Why did we decide to add the DA to this?
Well, it's very important. I mean, you have to remember, like last year, around this time, we had some issue with the DA's office. Primarily, we arrested the DA for crimes that we believe he had committed in violation of the NRS's. And there was always that chasm between the DA's office and the sheriff's office. It's kind of interesting. We used to go to the DA's office to get some information about, certain aspects of cases and request information. And the DA's office, previous to Mr. Kunze coming in, was, we have this China wall up and we can't talk to you. And we felt that was doing disservice to the community and pretty much to law enforcement and public safety in itself. Brian has done a lot of things to take out that China wall, so to speak. And gave us an opportunity to work closer together. And it's very important that we do that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Deanna. And, we'll have another one in March. We don't know if we'll have the Sheriff DA forum, but we'll see how it works out.
We'll let the public know when that is.
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
A hearing held in Las Vegas on Monday was a point of interest. It was a hearing regarding the town of Pahrump taking over the county-run Regional Planning Commission. Town Manager Bill Kobarger spoke to News 46 to give us an update.
Well, actually, it's Senate Bill 155. And what it does is gives any unincorporated town of overpopulation of 24,000 the right to be treated as a city when it comes to planning and zoning, and to take over and be responsible for planning and zoning within their jurisdiction.
And Harley Calkin brought this up when he was just a regular citizen, not on the town board. What's the reason that we want to do this?
Well, Mr. Calkin felt that it was the time for the town to take over its own backyard and to monitor its own backyard. Right now, the reason it came about, again, Mr. Calkins said that we have 2 county commissioners that live in the northern district that are 240 miles away, and they help to oversee what's going on in planning and zoning in the town of Pahrump. And within the county, the only place that has planning and zoning is the town of Pahrump. Therefore, the town of Pahrump should control it.
And because planning and zoning is normally ran by the county, so what happened at the meeting on Monday?
Mrs. Parker, Mr. Calkin, both town board members, and myself testified in front of the Senate Government Affairs Committee as to why we thought this was a good bill. Mrs. Easley, Commissioner Easley, and Commissioner Schimhofer, I pronounced his name wrong. Sorry, Dan. Schimhoffen, thank you. Commissioner Schimhoffen testified neutral. They just stated, well, we're going to have to do this, we're going to have to do this. The county specifically stated on the record they weren't going to give us any money to help us with this project, which we knew. And that's why we wanted to approach the Senate Government Affairs Committee about tweaking the bill with putting some financial terms in it. But right now, Senator McGinnis is taking the bill. He's contacting, at the request of Senator Lee, who is the chairman for the Senate Government Affairs Committee, he's going to contact the Clark County lobbyists. He's going to see what their issue was, and he's going to tweak the bill to get around, or not get around, I guess that's a poor choice of words, to deal with Clark County's concerns and still make it viable for any unincorporated town pursuant to NRS 269 to be treated as a city. We are the only unincorporated town that was created under 269 with elected officials from the citizens. The three that the county in Clark County have are basically like Gabbs and Tonopah and Amargosa. They're advisory boards to the county commission, report to the county commission, and have really no oversight.
So Clark County testified against us because they're concerned that this might set a precedent. Why?
Because it will open up planning and zoning to everybody else in Clark County, and they don't want that to happen. They want one jurisdiction handling all the planning and zoning that's in the county. That's not in Henderson, because Henderson handles their own, North Las Vegas handles their own, Boulder City handles their own, Vegas, and and Mesquite. The Clark County has a lot of property, and they don't want their little small unincorporated, and they're townships, to have planning and zoning rights. So again, Senator McGinnis advised after listening to Senator Lee and listening to the hearings that he would contact the Clark County lobbyists and tweak it to where it doesn't affect Clark County.
All right, coming up after the break, Highway 160 southbound was completely blocked last night.
A local reenactment group holds a colorful ribbon cutting.
All this and more coming up right after the break next. Please keep it here.
News 46 is brought to you by Affiliated Chiropractic and Physical Therapy, specializing in comprehensive accident rehabilitation. Our goal is to create the individual treatment plan that will restore your health and end pain. Come in for your free consultation. Call 775-727-8900. Pahrumph's #1 media source for local news, weather, and sports.
Welcome back. Nye County sheriffs are investigating the cause of a two-vehicle T-bone collision this afternoon, which required 2 occupants to be transported to the hospital. Deanna O'Donnell reports.
Right before 1:30 this afternoon, a 2-vehicle injury accident here on Highway 160 and Basin. Nye County Sheriff's deputies arrived on scene with Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue. We're going to speak to Fire Chief Scott Lewis.
Yes, early this afternoon we were dispatched for a report of an injury accident. Upon arrival at Highway 160 and Basin, we found a 2-car collision. It was a T-bone type collision. We found that 2 were medically unable to extricate from the vehicle on their own. So we completed that process and have removed those patients to the local hospital.
And they were transported locally here?
Yes. Medics 1 and 2 arrived on location, took over patient care, and then subsequently transported them from the scene.
We have Engine 1. What else do we have on scene?
Command vehicle as well as Engine 1's on a location today. We didn't actually have to use extrication tools because it was a medical necessity rather than a mechanical. But everything went well here today. Now it's just a matter of controlling the scene, absorbing some of the resulting liquids that are from the vehicles.
Nye County Sheriff's deputies are taking over the investigation. The road was blocked temporarily in all directions by the Nye County Sheriff's auxiliaries who controlled the traffic flow. This is Deanna O'Donnell on Highway 160 and Basin for News 46.
And southbound Highway 160 was blocked off due to a 3-vehicle accident which occurred yesterday evening. News 46 has more.
A 3-vehicle accident last night right before 6 p.m. in front of McDonald's on Highway 160 prompted Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue. Nye County Sheriff's deputies to the scene, which appears to be a non-injury accident at this point. All occupants declined medical on scene. Nevada Highway Patrol is investigating the cause of this accident. This is Deanna O'Donnell on Highway 160 for News 46.
The new reenactment group, the Waterstone Bunch, had a ribbon cutting at the Pahrump Chamber of Commerce this past week. The group presented in full costume and was introduced by Chamber President Mike Dreyer. Let's have a look.
I'd like to welcome all of you for coming out today to another ribbon cutting for the Pahrump Valley Chamber. Today we've got a new group joining the Chamber. It's the Waterstone Bunch, and they do reenactments, period reenactments. So at this time, would you please cut the ribbon?
Cut straight now, honey.
I sure will.
There we go.
I'm Doug Shaw. My alias is Charlie Siringo.
And I'm Susan Zink, and I'm Laura Lee Lilly, Miss Pepper, and also Minor Millie.
And I'm Dave Stout, also known as Deadwood Dave, or some call me Slim.
I'm Roberta Bach, and I'm known as Granny.
And I'm Joe Hendricks. I'm known as Sheriff Hawkeye Joe, sometimes Tex.
The Waterstone Bunch, our objective is to do some reenactments of things that actually happened in the 1800s, and maybe do some performances of things that might have happened the way we might have seen it happen.
We're going to be wanting to do a lot more competitions and living history, which is of interest to most of us.
And don't forget the encampments. We like doing encampments too. There's competition for that. Most people don't know that. But when you go to a competition, you see the different groups set up with an encampment. It's kind of fun to learn about what life was like living, you know, with the tent cities, etc.
Well, we don't have a fixed venue as we've had in the past, so we'll be performing in all different locations. Our next event really is going to be the Cowboy Spring Fling thing with the Arts Council. We'll be there participating in their fashion show.
You know, Rick, I think you'd look good in one of those
You think
outfits.
so? I'd look pretty dapper in a cowboy hat.
I think you would. The Waterstone Group will be at the Spring Fling Cowboy Thing this Saturday at 7 p.m. in the Pahrump Nugget. For more information, you can call Doug Shaw at 764-8004. And coming up after the break, stay tuned. Does the spring bring new events to the Valley?
And we'll have your full weather forecast. All this and more coming up next. Please keep it here.
News 46 is brought to you by Affiliated Chiropractic and Physical Therapy, specializing in comprehensive accident rehabilitation. Our goal is to create the individual treatment plan that will restore your health and end pain. Come in for your free consultation. Call 775-727-8900. Pahrump's #1 media source for local news, weather, and sports.
Welcome back to News 46. It's time to get out your cowboy boots because the first annual Spring Fling Cowboy Thing will be held Saturday at the Pahrump Nugget. News 46 has more.
I am with
Lulu Breimer,
Scotty Weiniger,
Tiffany Reed, and Shiley Reed.
And there's a Spring Fling Cowboy Thing coming up this weekend. Tell me about that, Lulu.
All right, we're going to have the Spring Fling Cowboy Thing, and it starts March 5th, Saturday night at the Nugget. It's sponsored by Saida Trudeau, and we're going to have entertainment, which I brought some of the girls here with me this morning to tell you about what they do. We're going to have a lot of things going on, a Western fashion show by the Waterstone Bunch. We're going to have food and snacks, that is, and a lot of raffles, auctions, and it's just going to be a boot-kicking time.
A lot of dancing, right? We've been seeing flyers all over town about this. Scotty, you're going to be there. What are you going to be doing?
Well, my group, the Nye County Starlets, are going to be performing there and to entertain, and they're going to be in their Western costumes, and they're going to be doing number 2, Country Girl.
And we got these two lovely ladies on the end. What are they going to be doing?
Yes, they're going to be doing a duet singing, and they're just so harmonious. It's beautiful.
Wonderful. Can't wait to see this. The public is invited to this, right? And do you need to wear Western apparel, or is it optional?
No, you can wear Western apparel if you like. We're all going to be dressed up, and the public is invited to too. And may I say that this is the Pahrump Arts Council event.
Wonderful.
Fundraiser.
And it is a good fundraiser. I know that you're in charge of the fundraising there. Where is this going to be held at?
It's at the Nugget Convention Hall, and it's going to start at 7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
And that's this Saturday night.
Yes, this Saturday night, so be ready.
So it looks like you may have a chance to wear that cowboy hat.
I might, but if I'm going to wear that cowboy hat, it's going to have to have one of those nifty string things underneath it because it's going to be so windy this week. Everybody's hat's going to go blowing away. Don't go anywhere. We got your 7-day forecast coming up right after this short break. Please keep it here.
News 46 weather is brought to you by your local dairy farmers. Dairy products are very important in maintaining a healthy body. For more information, you can visit their website at nevadadairycouncil.org.
Hey everyone, welcome back to News 46. I'm Rick Vale with your weather today. It was partly cloudy out there. We had a high 65 degrees. Now the winds are coming out of the southeast at 7 miles per hour, which is probably about the calmest day we're going to get all week. Pressure is holding steady at 30.19. Sunrise was at 6:14 a.m. and our record high was 84 degrees back in 1986. Looking at tonight, it's expected to be partly cloudy again as well with a low of 38 degrees. Not quite freezing, but still pretty chilly. Winds out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. Sunset will be at 5:39 p.m. and our record low 17 degrees back in 1962. Now moving on to our 7-day forecast. As you can see, windy all week long. I'm going to step off the graphic so you can take a look. There it is. Soak it up. Winds all week. Now the nice part is not so bad that we're going to have wind advisories coming up every day, but it's still very breezy. Now, Wednesday, partly cloudy skies, a high of 69, a low of 44, not too terrible. Thursday's not looking too bad either with a high of 70 and a low of 42. Now, Friday's going to be cloudy skies, still windy, a high of 66 and a low of 42. Saturday on a weekend, 67 degrees for a high with a low of 44. Now, the winds that day are going to probably be upwards of about 17 miles per hour, so still pretty breezy, but nothing too dangerous. You're still going to want to be a little careful if you're in a high-profile vehicle. Now, Sunday, 20% chance of rain expected. Very windy, gusts up to 30 miles per hour, very dangerous. 70 degrees for a high, 44 degrees for a low. Now, Monday, about a 10% chance of rain following up that 20 with gusts up to 35 miles per hour, high 67 and a low 40. And finishing off our 7-day forecast is Tuesday, still pretty windy with a high 65 and a low of 40.
So I guess we won't get completely blown away until Sunday?
That's right. We're good till Sunday. Actually, if after that, who knows? But
there's always so much wind in Pahrump.
Well, and the thing about the weather is that for some reason, every time we predict, it seems to come just a little bit earlier. So keep that in mind. The winds could come as early as the day before. Just FYI.
Okay, we'll do that. And if you've missed any part of this newscast, you can watch it all again on our website at KPVM.TV.
That's right. Keep up with weather on a daily basis, plus all the local news, and you'll find our full schedule of programming. And that does it for this edition of News 46. I'm Rick Vale.
I'm Rhonda Van Winkle.
From everyone up here on the Hill at KPVM, we wish you a safe evening, and we'll see you here again tomorrow night. Until then, good night, Pahrump.
Good night.